Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a tier 10 game in my Smaland. Going over the matchmaking threats to my ship is the enemy Des Moines, Worcester, Hindenburg, Smolensk if they can get some shots at me. Shimakaze and the Yu Yang, of course, might be radar as well. The map is Haven, and we're going to kick this thing off. And this game, spoiler alert, it's going to be a bit of a hard-fought loss, and I am going to be focusing on primarily the mistakes that I'm making, but there's also some key mistakes that my allies make that really push this game into the loss category. This game very easily could have been a win if I hadn't been so brain dead in a couple different situations, and it just, you can't win them all, I guess. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push up here into B cap, and already I don't like what I'm seeing, and that's the Shimakaze coming down to B cap, and you can see he's going to turn in here. Now this is extremely dangerous because he's just going to sail right in along B cap right down here. Never do this. This is a death trap, and you're going to see exactly why in a minute. The proper way to play this position would be either to reverse in here or reverse in here. Don't bother coming into the island. Just get right on the edge of the cap, just with the stern of your ship, cap it, and then get out. Because the middle of this objective of the map in here it's just crossfire central. Now I'm taking this position here because I'm looking to see if an enemy DD steps on this cap. I want to be able to throw torps in behind this island, deny that island cover to them, and maybe if I can radar and punish these DDs. Now enemy Des Moines pops up, he's shooting the Shima, and the Shima's gonna start taking a pounding here because he has nowhere to go. He's got to actually sail closer to the Des Moines, closer to the enemy ships, and look at all of these shots coming in. I'm gonna look back here momentarily and see this poor Shima. He's smoking up. It's not gonna do anything. He's already lost half of his HP, and he's lucky to get out with still being alive. Thankfully, my team is able to punish that Hindenburg, and at this point, I'm making the determination that, you know what, I'm not going to try to step on the cap. I want to try to get out here on the flank and try to equalize that lost HP on our Shimakaze. I want to push out here and see if my team can help my team pick up a kill. We've had a couple big hits over here. There's another one.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
Taking a look at that Yamato. Throwing some really long-range torpedoes out there because that Kurfürst, he's ducking back into the islands. He's not going to be a torpedo threat or a torpedo target for a while. Now, this position I think it's good and bad. It's good because I'm really getting some aggressive spotting in for my team. My team, all of a sudden they're not really landing the big hits right now. I do like that we've got a Zhao in Montana over here. We're getting some crossfire angles in on these ships. They're getting some pressure in on this Hindenburg or Kurfürst. But right from the get-go, I think these long-range torps, they should have been better aimed. I launched that from even well beyond my maximum torpedo range. Hindsight, it would have been better to be in a position to launch them now. And this is where that, super fast torpedo reload, is it always a good thing? sometimes yes, sometimes no. If you can get in those positions where you can use that, be in position to use that, 75-second torpedo reload or whatever, um, more power to you. That's really getting out there and getting some good torpedo position and then staying on top of it all game. You're going to do a buttload of damage. But for the average player, that you're usually better off, um, buffing your guns, because it's if you're not if you're if you have 100-second torpedo reload and it takes you 95 seconds to get in position on average with your torpedoes, you're just not being too effective here. Now I do land a torped on this Shimakaze. I believe he's beyond my my radar range, so I'm not gonna pop it. But this is mistake number 2. This is me getting greedy. This Yamato has blew his DCP, and I'm trying to get that pressure on this ship right now to try to get that second unrepairable fire. There it is, but we just lost my Shimakaze. So this is going to force me in a position. We're down 2 caps. We're already down, over 200 points. I'm pretty much immediately making the play for I need to get into B cap. Now this isn't going to be ideal for me because I really do need some distance to get my guns to work. So my torpedoes are going to need to be on point. And it's not going to happen. Number one, they're going to know that I'm on cap because they're resetting everything in cap. This is also a mistake here. This Montana, this Zao coming into cap. I know they want to help flip this cap, but the problem is these ships, they're just going to be crossfired to hell when they're in there. So I lined up, something like a 10-kilometer torpedo shot on this Montana right here. Just beyond this little island right here. I'm looking to see that Montana just keep sailing along. This Montana, he's smart. He's going to slam on the brakes and use that island as cover. And those torpedoes, they're waste. You can look and see how much HP our Zao has lost already. Now, this is why they're not helping. Is every time these guys get reset, look how much longer it takes me to cap this. 22 seconds. And they're going to get reset again. And it takes so much longer for, for a ship to cap when everybody's being reset right now. Now, this is mistake number 2. I'm in a hurry to get out of this position because this isn't good territory for Smaland, especially with my build. You're way too visible. Now my mistake here is my torpedoes need to be on point. I'm trying to track this Republic, and I'm gonna make the guess that this guy's gonna turn sharper once he gets past this island and kind of bow into my Montana, and that's what I'm trying to cut off right here. Doesn't happen. He just keeps sailing, showing his broadside, and sails right along through here, right past those torpedoes. If I would have waited a few more seconds, I would have been able to drop those torpedoes off. Actually looking at the ship, I see that they're going to miss right now, but there's nothing I can do because there's a Smolensk right here that's going to be able to punish me, and I'm going to need to actually use the speed boost to get out of here to avoid being cut off. So, just lack of cap control right now really forced me into a bind, which has put my damage really behind where it needs to be to influence the battle. We just lost 2 ships there. I'm still speed boosting away from this Smolensk. For some reason he wasn't shooting at me, but I'll take it. Now the Smolensk is trying to flip A. We're closing in on 800 points, so desperation starting to kick in. I'm taking some shots right now, try to reset this Smolensk, try to keep that, you know, 4th cap delayed as long as possible. I'm finally in a position where Wooster can't spot me, and try to get some more shots in, try to reset that Smolensk again. And, you know, the realization is we need kills. So this Republic happens to be relatively low HP, and, you know, thankfully I'm healthy. I've got my repairs. I'm just gonna go nuts on this this Republic. Now, hindsight, maybe I should have turned bow into the Smolensk. I was waiting for this Smolensk to shoot at me. Didn't really do it. So in hindsight, it would have been better for me to turn bow into ACAP, because I would have been, I would have got there quicker. Now you can actually see somebody shot at me. That's the value of incoming fire alert. I'm not looking at this smoke, but I can tell exactly when that person is going to shoot at me, and then already start dodging before they, you know, even before that those shells render on the screen. Now, we're down 4 caps. You know, we're down ships, 813 points on the enemy team. We gotta go, and really gonna push out here. Again, not the best torpedo targets. I'm gonna take the best guesstimates I can for where these guys are going, and then I'm just gonna start shooting at ships. Now I'm trying to dodge the Smolensk for the most part. This Wooster is going to have a harder time hitting me with this engine boost. So I'm really trying to, eventually end up focusing my guns on the Smolensk, because at this distance he's so much greater threat to me than the Wooster. But this Smolensk, he's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to go, you know what? Going to take another risk here. It's 900 points. I'm gonna switch right back to the Wooster. He's broadside to me. I'm looking right now, and I'm like, I got to take the Wooster. So I'm gonna switch to AP. We're gonna start shooting, and I'm just staying zoomed out. I'm trying to see where this Smolensk is shooting. Try to dodge the shots the best I can. That means my shots aren't the best at the Wooster. But the Smolensk screwed up. He smoked up, and I'm going to be able to pop my radar here. 6.3 kilometers, get that AP going. He's nice and broadside to me. There's a Citadel. More Citadels, come on. Get those shots in there. A lot of those shots are landing a little too low, but I'm able to pick up the kill on the Smolensk. And I'm going to push into ACAP. And unfortunately, it's not enough. My damage output just did not keep up with what it needed to be when I needed to duck into the cap to take that cap. The enemy team, their cap control was just too good early on. You know, being down 2 full capture points, it's just too much to come back from. And that's a gamble when you've got a DD that plays out on the flank rather than push into a cap. They need to be really mindful of, you know, getting right back on the cap. I feel that I did make a pretty quick rotation back to the cap to try to start slowing down some of the enemy point gain. We just lost too many ships in the process of doing that, and at the end of the day, that cost us. So, all in all, not the best performance for me. A lot of that had to do with just the downtime, trying to take those capture points, and me being impatient with torpedoes, only landing one torpedo this game. Shameful. So yeah, you guys wanted me to pick apart a loss, and I really felt this one was a good one to really dissect, because there was a lot of stuff going on here that this game should have been winnable, and at the end of the day, we just kind of blew it. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good night. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will talk to you later.